One thing that I think is so funny is all the different notes that you give to Bonnie, who's our resident typist, the greatest typist, and for all of your books, and you'll have them on napkins in restaurants, you'll have them on church bulletins, just notes.
Not that I'm ever writing notes while I'm in church.
No, I was going to say.
I'm sympathetic because as a pastor, I would often see people writing their notes, clipping their nails and all those kinds of. And now, of course, texting and trying to appear like they're not texting. So I've been on both sides of that. So.
It's just funny to be all the different things that she's had to type and even tip them upside down, written in circles, and it's like you never stop thinking when you're a writer. You're constantly thinking of new ideas or new pieces of.
That's right. It's not something that you just set aside. If you work at a tire shop, you might be thinking later on about repairing a tire or something, but you're not actually physically doing little repair a tire type chores. But as a writer, you are. I mean, you've got certain things always going on your mind, and you're jotting those down. And so Bonnie, who you mentioned, who does this typing for me, occasionally she'll show me something that I've written in the margins of a book. And she'll say, "What is this word?" And I'll look at it and I go, "I have no idea." But she's great at deciphering and kind of reading the language. But this is something I very commonly do. When I'm doing my research, for instance, when I'm writing my book on If God is Good, on the problem of evil and suffering, read over 100 books related to evil and suffering. Most of my notes, what I'll do is I'll write in the margin, RA, indicating it's Randy Alcorn writing this, and then I'll handwrite a bunch of stuff. Meanwhile, I have underlined certain things that the author of this book is saying. But then Bonnie knows to put in bold everything that I've written, so I never mistake something I've written for something someone else wrote. But one of the interesting things about writing and the way that the mind works, at least my mind, and I think probably a lot of people's minds work this way, is that my notes will fairly often not appear to connect with what the author of the book was actually saying. What they said was something that made me think of something, which made me think of something else, and now it exploded into a line of thinking that actually there's no way you could make a direct connection to what I had read that had originally stimulated me. And I think that's the way, God has given us minds that work in imaginative ways and in ways that we don't quite understand. That's certainly true in fiction. It's a whole other ballgame with fiction because you are inventing lives. I think when you write fiction, you are coming about as close as you come to what it means to be a creator. And an artist is a creator, and writing is an art form. And certainly music and the painting and sculpting and all of those kinds of physical arts. And God has made us, as what J.R.R. Tolkien called, sub-creators. He's the only creator with a capital C, but we're creators with a lowercase c. And in the writing process, both nonfiction and fiction, but certainly in fiction, there are times where all of a sudden it comes together and your mind is bursting with ideas, and they're new and they're fresh, and they're not just pieced together this, that, and the other thing, but it's like you're thinking of a whole new thing, and you've just got to get it down. So I can be, driving on a freeway and have to pull off at an exit, pull up somewhere, and then be sitting for 20, 30 minutes writing this down.